right? Hey, CBC. I'm Mike Patella. I am the founder of Christian Business Connect, and this is our Meet the Member with Spencer Combs. Thanks
Good to be here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so like Mike said, my name is Spencer Combs. I'm a serial entrepreneur, but my specialty is in the content creation and kind of promotions industry. So really what we do at Phase 2, which is my breadwinner company, is that we put together promotional videos, photos. We help businesses create content that is engaging, also help people like consultants and marketers and I guess really any entrepreneur, athletes even, make themselves known online, make themselves look good, and kind of give them the edge that they need to stand out amongst competition or whoever they're trying to compete against for attention.
And that's incredibly important, especially with today's business climate. So it's awesome you do all that. How'd you get into it?
So I'll kind of give you like a crash course because it's one thing. It's like I almost fell into this by accident, but let's see. When I was 18, I started my first business, which was a clothing brand, which I don't really have too much involvement in anymore. Not nearly to the extent that I did, but I just started creating content for it. I was always like a creative person growing up, and so really what I did was I invested into camera gear. So I invested into like a drone, a nice camera, a stabilizer. It's like some basic equipment. Started creating content for my brand, and then once I bought all that, I started doing the content creation for the job or my work, my employment, which was a fitness location at the time. And this was probably early 2017, I think. Okay. So maybe 2 years ago. And you just got really good at putting together photos, videos, and I guess that created an element to social media or the internet. And I ended up starting Phase 2 in late 2017 because I kind of realized that this is a good business opportunity and it's what I'd like to do. So that's how it was launched.
That's a big part of it, making sure you're passionate. It sounds like you got into it. I like it how you got into it.
Yeah, by accident. Yeah.
It's business never starts the way you intend. I mean, you start doing one thing, you kind of figure out what you like, and then you end up where you are, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess what is your favorite thing about content creation and owning a business? And I guess those are two separate things. So
right,
but
I would say honestly, like it's really cool when and this is probably not maybe the best thing to say online, but when clients have a low expectation of your work, I don't know if it's because they haven't seen it yet or what, and then we end up creating something that, of course, is very aesthetically pleasing, that they like, that promotes their business well, that's very attention-getting, and then, of course, when they promote it and they put it out there, or when they start to advertise on a social, that piece of content does really well. That's super rewarding, so kind of seeing people's visions and dreams come to life, for us giving that the ability for other businesses to do that's really cool. And then, I'd say that's probably my favorite thing is kind of helping in the branding aspect of what we do and really helping others communicate their message to the marketplace.
Nice, and it's very interesting how you reference the kind of like the essentially an age thing. I mean, you're a young entrepreneur. A lot of business owners might see that and think, we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
And then hence the low standards, because I've been there myself.
Yeah.
I still kind of get it every now and then, so stop it. But now, how do you overcome that? I mean, is it just by executing? I mean, how do you get them at that point to go from we're going to entertain using Spencer to I'm going to use Spencer, and then you?
I think ultimately it's one of those things too where you're really not going to know that until you give us a shot. Mm-hmm. So I can't. I mean, there's one thing if I just tell you that we can do a good job. It's one thing if we actually do it. That goes with any business too. I think another thing is, not that I've been doing this forever, but I've been doing it long enough to the point where I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not like it just started yesterday. Also referrals too. So if I get a referral from a business owner or a business owner refers me to another business owner or whatever, like the chain of connection, then that helps as well. So that way you're not going into it as just somebody that's trying to cold pitch off the street.
Yeah.
So, and then also too, most people don't even know how old I am until I actually they see me in person. They're like, "Oh, I thought you were like 35." I'm like, "No, not yet."
So you haven't looked at that point. You're
So basically, I think a lot of it is in the communication prior to actually meeting with the person, mm-hmm. or to actually fulfilling the job or working with them. And then it's one of those things too, where it's like, okay, well, we've already gotten this far. Let's just execute it, or execute the project, or start working, and then of course just see where things go. So
Nice. So obviously, you've been self-employed for a couple of years now, essentially. What is the most challenging thing about that for you?
The most challenging thing about it, I would say, probably would be. That's a good question. I don't think it's self-discipline, which is what most people say, because I'm relatively self-disciplined and I enjoy what I do, so I don't really lack motivation. I would say it's most likely connections right now.
Okay.
So probably just the hardest thing for me as being self-employed isn't so much like the hustle or the work aspect of it. I think more it's just I got self-employed, or I kind of got into the industry when I didn't really have anything. You know what I'm saying? So I started with zero connections. Actually, when I went self-employed, the business was just barely getting started. So there was a little bit of a risk there too. I think that's something that is just going to naturally go away. But of course, doing things like this help, like live streams and actual videos, and kind of connecting with individuals. And that's something that is never going to stop. That we're never going to stop doing. But yeah, I would say the hardest thing for me right now is just getting in front of people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So always more building connections. Does that make sense? Kind of like developing that portfolio of people to reach out to and kind of do business with. So
yeah, no, I get it. It's challenging. You get busy, and then you have a client, and then the other aspects of the business take up your time, and then wait, I need more clients.
Right? Yeah.
I get it. I definitely get that. No, nice, tremendous. So obviously, we're a religious organization. How do you believe God has influenced your path to get from where you were to where you are to where you're going? Or
I think a lot of it, honestly, is probably just in faith. You know what I'm saying? So kind of never have, and not that I don't worry, but realizing that everything's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of times where something bad will happen, I'm trying to think of like a good example. Let's say. Let's say we don't land a client, right? Or a client decides or a prospect decides to go with another agency or another company. Instead of getting worried, I'm like, oh, well, what do we do now? Or something like that. Or kind of having that fear of like, what is going to happen? Just knowing that everything's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? So kind of having that faith that God's going to take care of me, take care of our business, and we're going to be okay. We'll be all right.
I definitely get that. I'm pretty sure faith is the only reason I'm in business right now. Otherwise, I would have quit a long time ago. But no, you're right. You have to have that faith. You have to have that outlook. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur,
stay calm in general. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So obviously, there are other content marketers out there. Why would we choose you, or as compared to someone else?
I think the biggest thing is, from what I see with other content creators, that they don't actually take the time to like film and produce content at the location of the business. So I know like a lot of content creators will use like stock photos or videos or do things from a completely remote location, which I understand because it saves time. But the thing is, that time is kind of what the customer's purchasing. You know what I'm saying? So they're purchasing your creative skill set. So biggest thing for us is whenever we're filming or we're putting together content or shooting videos and photos, we're actually here. Either it's me or our production team or somebody on our staff that is doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so, for example, Mike, if you were to hire us, instead of us just getting a picture of a cross and promoting it for CBC that we find like on Google Images, we're actually here putting together videos of you and how this organization has impacted you or whatever business we're working for. So I would say the customer service aspect of it, or the actual extra step that we take to take the time out of our day to go and do everything.
So it's legitimately custom content. It's not just,
So it's custom content, exactly. Yeah. So whenever a client hires us, we're actually there filming, putting together photos, videos, and
then I believe that better reflects the brand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny you mentioned that because I use a stock photo on one of the websites because I'm a serial entrepreneur too, as you know.
Yeah.
From way back when, and I saw it on someone else's the other day. I'm like, there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
So they have the same exact thing, but custom content. You're right. That is the way to go, and you guys specialize in it because I mean, you pretty much travel all over the place too for your clients.
Yeah,
right?
we do quite a bit. So right now our farthest client is Middle Ohio. Our northern one, I guess like our first one south is in Middle of Ohio.
Okay.
Our first one north is pretty far up in the thumb of Michigan. So that's maybe like a 5-hour distance between the two. But and then we serve pretty much everything in between. So
Nice.
mainly metro area, and then one out of state, and one in northern Michigan. So
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of driving.
yeah,
for
yeah, we
us
make it work.
sometimes. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess what's the best way for people to find you besides clicking your tag here in the Facebook
Right.
post?
Honestly, that would probably be it. Is just either give me a friend request on Facebook or like messaging me that way. I'm always on social media because it's the field that I'm in. So I probably spend like hours a day just like on social, probably too much that to the point where it's like affecting my work. But yeah, I'd say that's the easiest way to do it. I mean, anything else would just be a burden. So you can send me an email, but at that point, then I got to spell it out. You're best off just give me a friend request and then just shoot me a message.
Easy enough. Any other final news, notes, tips, stories, whatever you want to tell before we sign off?
How are you doing? You doing good?
No one asked me that. I appreciate that. No, I'm good.
Cool.
Enjoying Facebook Live, CBC members.
Sweet. I think actually, I do got one thing.
All right, let's hear it.
I don't want to cut you off, but I think the biggest thing to understand is that everyone is a brand, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an independent agent, whether you're a business owner, and everybody needs content, right? So if we're looking to kind of scale into the world of social media and of the internet, you're just not gonna. It's just like typical marketing. Common sense or logic, like you're not going to be able to stand out if you're always doing the same exact things as everybody else. If you're posting the same thing, if you're talking about the same things, if you're promoting and running your business the same exact way, it's just not going to go anywhere, right? You might be able to kind of get it off the ground, but at the point where you're scaling into a larger company, you need good content. You need content that's different, that looks good, that is specialized to you. And so that's kind of the niche that we hit is businesses that want to scale and grow. So.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You got to be different. That's how you get to the next level. So awesome. Well, really appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I am going to shut this off because Kelsey's not here today. And while I do that, I'm going to show you one of his cameras over here, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I don't break it.
I'm filming the whole interview too.
So you'll be able to find this interview in a variety of places. I hope I don't spill my coffee. Have a great week, everyone. God bless.
Thanks there.